here am I. Once a caterpillar, now a butterfly. It can seem strange, but when you reminisce, it's all about change. It's metamorphosis. It's all about love. It's metamorphosis.
Kevvl here for the extras. You might notice I have most of the armor upgrades. That's because the last one is in this stage, and well, I really like how this armor looks. First off though, you want to hit this guy with a Crystal Hunter. Maybe two, the first one might knock off his shield and not hit him. Grab yourself a 1-up, move a little bit, and get yourself a heart container. Double power up all the way across the stage. Very quickly, you can also see, if you equip Wheel Gator's weapon right here, invisible, destroyable floor. How nice. 2 shots usually does it. Drop down and grab yourself a capsule. Mega Man X, enter the capsule. This enhancement will modify your body armor. With it, you can absorb damage and transfer it into explosive weapon energy. I don't think he mentions this, but you can also take half damage with this armor power-up. Like the old one, it will reduce your damage. And it's also the first of many Giga attacks that X will get. Later ones, I believe X4, 5, and 6, I'm not sure about 7 or 8, have not played those yet. You perform a Nova Strike, which is like a mid-air dash. But this one, any sort of plasma shot will charge it up. And you just basically destroy everything on screen. Now obviously this won't instant kill a boss, but it does do a lot of damage. Let's try it out on this Disc Boy and all these other guys. Boom! Very nice to use, extremely powerful. Although it takes a while to charge, quite useful. And that is all of the extras, but there is one other thing I wanted to show. And that is what the Silk Shot does. We're in a junkyard, so right now it's junk. It'll explode in a little X-shaped pattern. If you charge it up, you get a mobile junk shield. Doesn't actually affect enemies close to you, but if you launch it off, it'll slowly explode into catastrophic death. Boom! It gets smaller as it goes through enemies. The main interesting thing about the Silk Shot, though, is how it changes. Right now we're in a junkyard, so I'm firing off a blob of junk. If I were in, say, Crystal Snail stage, I would fire off a blob of crystals. If I were in Bubble Crab stage, it'd be a blob of rocks, computer parts for Magna Centipede, etc., etc. It changes depending on where you are, which is a really neat aspect of the Silk Shot. I gotta admit, everything about Morph Moth's stage and boss and his weapon is very interesting. But that is all of the extras, and that's all the interesting things I wanted to show you, so it's on to the outtakes. Enjoy! Did I say outtakes? I did miss one thing. Very interesting with the Silk Shot that you can do in certain stages, like, for example, Bubble Crab stage. I picked this one because it's the easiest one to show with. It's very close to the beginning of the stage. Invisible wall in some areas, and there's also bizarre areas that just seem to be empty rooms. Well, you can use that empty room to your advantage. Charge yourself up the junk shot, and bam! If you've got sub-tanks, they're now full. Very nice to use. A great way to fill up your sub-tank energy. Little secret, I guess you could say. Now it's time for the outtakes. Enjoy! But destroy the head, and the entire thing will die. I missed. That is a Garakuda robot. Its outer 2 layers. Dash into the Disc Boy, please. Look at that crazy disc. I hate that thing. Look, it's going all straight towards me. While doing so, it can damage you with the mechanized part. That was dumb. It can jump around and shoot junk at you. And the Pararoid can also ram you if you're stupid. Take it out as it's rising and you'll be fine. Whoa, but careful of the junk it likes to throw out, even when it's dead. Son of a gun. The direction the Pararoid S38 is facing when it goes down is also the direction that the old robot will come up, so I cannot hit its torso, its weak point here. Whoa! And it also, did I mention it jumps like crazy? Jeez. He takes over this little creature here called an old robot, and will shoot junk at you, and yeah, he shoots junk at you. Make sure to take him out before he gets too much of a chance to throw junk at you. Facing in the same direction as it, and you'll be able to take it out very quickly. But not before it throws junk at you. It always does that. Last-ditch effort. Just like, hey, I'm exploded, but I still have junk. Man, I hate these guys. Oh, this is my nightmare, and I was doing very badly in killing it. Oh, the gravity. Okay, whoa. Alright, we're good? We're good. That was close. That was a bunch of very close calls. Which is... oh, the gravity. Curses. And those flying paroroids are bashing into me. How lovely. Out while it's coming up. And this is the second one up this stage, isn't it? I hope that's not a bad thing. Considering we're almost done, I really hope that's not a bad thing.
Lots of paranoids here. Take your time, kill them one by one, and make sure to take out the flying ones as quickly as possible, because they will not latch onto you, they will just fly at you and do damage.
And then quickly move down to fight the cannon driver. I blame the 1-ups. Again, I blame the 1-ups. And cannon driver. And I feel like an idiot now. He will, when he swings, he's gonna throw junk at you, and you have to avoid it. And I didn't avoid it. You little jerk. Ah, man, that is hard to avoid. It is a great time to counterattack, but it's also the most dangerous time to get hit by him. Ooh! Oh, bummer! He got too big, I couldn't avoid him. And he's just not stopping that, is he? Ah, bummer. While it's swinging, it'll launch random junk at you. And I cannot emphasize how random this is enough. Whew, my goodness. Oh man, it's everywhere. And then he'll usually fall to the ground and start spinning around. He's invincible during this time, so take the opportunity to avoid him like crazy. Are you kidding me? Ah, son of a... river owl. And the fact that he's continually increasing his size is not a good thing. Whoa! Went the other way that time. He can spiral it either way, and the fact that he gets big is not a good thing. Ah, bummer. See, he gets larger. It also will slowly expand throughout the fight. So you want to take it out as quickly as possible to get as much, well, as small a sized enemy as possible to... junk! Ah! I've re-recorded this at least 3 times now. I keep changing my mind on the difficulty, but this is my final answer. After much, much thought and deliberation, Morph Moth, here's your rating. It's a 7 out of 10. The stage is fairly difficult, mostly due to the massive onslaught of so many freaking enemies. The paroroids are everywhere. It's the R5s and S38s that cause the most problems, and since there's not as many of them, not so bad. Old Robot, though, I don't like that mini-boss too much. He's no angler, but he's a problem. My main issue with the stage, though, is really Morph Moth, particularly his first form. Second form, I didn't have any outtakes on. First form, plenty. His 3 attacks always come in sequential order, so he's kind of predictable. But the exact nature of his junk, that's always different. The fact that he increases in size, that makes the fight even more difficult, because as you get him closer to desperation mode, particularly with that spiral junk vacuum, it gets a lot harder. I gotta admit, I got pretty lucky on my real run, and if I had just been a millisecond too slow, I would have gotten hit and would have had to do it over again. But even though it is a moth, and even though it's random, it's not all that bad. It never feels cheap. It still has skill involved. It still has a little bit of luck, but a lot of skill. It's got reflexes, all that good stuff, and speed mostly. It's very enjoyable. Both the stage and the boss have quirky, cool mechanics to them. For example, the stage has got the nice gravity, the paroroids are a nice touch, the ones that can latch on and make you do crazy things, and, well, the boss has 2 forms, which is just plain awesome. Even the weapon's got a gimmick to it, the silk shot that changes all forms depending on where you are. It's a really enjoyable stage, and even though it's a moth, really enjoyable fight with the boss. I gotta say, this was a great end to X2, and it will prepare me for my next project, my favorite game in the series, X3. I hope you enjoyed X2, and I cannot wait to bring you into Mega Man X3. Hope you tune in next time. This is Kevvl, signing off. Ciao!